If we love Jesus, then we'll love whom Jesus loves. God obeys His own commandments, and one of His commandments is honor your mother and your father. And Jesus honored His mother.
From where she is enthroned, high above the Cathedral Basilica, the Blessed Mother, under the title Santa Maria in Camalen, gazes lovingly at all who come before her. Crowned patroness of Guam and the Marianas, Our Lady of Camalen has watched over the islands for over 300 years, the oldest and most revered religious icon of the Church on Guam. Oral tradition recounts that she was found by a native fisherman floating on Molesu Beach, standing erect over the water and escorted by 2 crabs carrying lighted candles. Historians believe this popular legend could well be anchored on facts.
I believe that statue came from a ship, Nuestra Senora de Pilar, and it was shipwrecked in 1690 on Cocos Island, and probably that statue was bolted on the deck of that ship, broke loose, floated into the island of Guam. A fisherman likely found it with crabs on it and votive candles on it. I don't believe they were lit, as the legend says, but I believe that that's an actual fact that happened. And that statue has become venerated by people in the Marianas.
For the Chamorros, Santa Maria in Camalen embodied the ultimate magahaga, the highest-ranking female in a strong matrilineal culture. A brief tenure as protectress of the Spanish Insular Guards gave her the title Our Lady of the Barracks, or Santa Maria de Camarin. Enthroned in Hagåtña since 1825, to the devout Chamorros, she was Santa Maria in Camalen, their heavenly shield against typhoons, earthquakes, fires, and epidemics. And a most precious symbol of faith that survived the brutal war which began on her feast day, December 8th, 1941.
That morning they had First Holy Communion Mass before the procession, and so many were here. And my auntie, Mariquita Sauder, which we all lovingly call Mama Tita, also was here preparing the carroza for the procession later on that day. And the first thing that came to everybody's mind, especially my grandfather, Jose Torres, was to make sure that the statue was safe, to keep it hidden from the Japanese, to make sure that it would not be taken away from them.
With the cathedral sacked and transformed into a public entertainment hall, it was the Torres clan that took the great risk of hiding the image in their homestead outside the city for the duration of the war. Miraculously, the image survived the war and was eventually returned to Hagåtña. December 8th, 1945 marked the first island-wide procession of Santa Maria Camalen, coinciding with both the Feast of the Immaculate Conception and the anniversary of the bombing of Guam. Every year since then, her care and preparation for the annual procession fell upon the shoulders of a privileged custodian, the camarera. From 1928 until her death in 2003, Mariquita Torres Sauder was the camarera, the official caretaker of the image of Santa Maria in Camalen. The matriarch of friends and relatives who cleaned and dressed the image and processed her on a lavishly designed carroza, while thousands of devotees cheered, "Viva Santa Maria in Camalen!"
This very special devotion by the whole island to Santa Maria in Camalen, and just having this very miraculous statue with the family during the most trying times, the most trying years of our lives, was indeed, in our family, we can't look at it as anything other than a gift from God.
After Mariquita Sauder passed away, her daughter Laura inherited the task of camarera, together with cousin Geraldine Torres Gutierrez and 3 generations of female relatives and friends. Here, as with many religious traditions on Guam, women take the lead.
But as far as dressing Our Lady and caring for her, it's just the women. None of the men, not even Monsignor James, is allowed into the room once we have her stripped down and cleaning her and preparing her for the procession.
In 1971, the 11th Guam legislature unanimously voted to declare the 8th of December a territorial legal holiday, giving the public a special day to celebrate their heroes as well as their beloved patroness. Then, in 2002, tradition gave way to the forces of nature. As the deadly gales of Super Typhoon Pong Song-Hwa lashed throughout the island, the image was immediately removed from her niche for safekeeping. And instead of the usual procession, a rosary vigil was held, imploring the Blessed Mother's intercession for the safety of her children.
If you think about it, we've been hit with very, very serious typhoons and earthquakes. We had an 8.1 earthquake back in '93, and in all of these, there's no life loss that's attributed to the actual disaster. And I think for the faithful, we have no doubt that we're protected as an island by Santa Maria in Cumberland.
The enduring value of Santa Maria in Cumberland's presence continues to be a fountain of strength, hope, and piety among countless devotees on Guam and nearby islands. But for the family of Mariquita Torres Sauter, the present and future camareras, their sacred duty is also a source of great personal blessing.
I feel very, very privileged to be part of this family and to have this responsibility. And I do take this responsibility very, very seriously. And it inspires the devotion in me, I think, and it really, in a lot of ways, helps me feel connected to the generation above me who I never knew.
It's a love that is so hard to relate to because it's so real. It's like my own mother. I believe with all my heart and soul that no matter how difficult times are, for me personally, it's going to be all right. Things are going to be all right because she's there and she's going to make them all right. She's come through every time. She's never failed me. And this is a very, very, very personal and emotional love that I have for this wonderful patroness. She's my mother.